We have another month in the books, and month over month, it doesn't look too good. Inside the numbers, we have an intriguing story, and I'll give you that full picture in today's video. Let's first look at what it takes to be a top collector on the app. And we have just over 651,000 unique owners on the platform, which really hasn't moved much for the past couple of weeks. It now takes 198 NFTs to be in the top 1% of holders, 39 to be in the top 5%, and 16 to be in the top 10%. Keep in mind, this is in regards to quantity of collectibles. It doesn't take into account rarity, sets, or MCP points, so this will change when you consider those things, but the points still do remain directionally correct. This tells us majority of the wallets are holding a very small amount, and those people aren't doing much. The other charts do support this when we look at the market participation by wallet tier. We're early, and it's a bear market. This shouldn't be too unexpected, but this is a situation where we have the numbers to confirm that is the case. Now, digging into the bearish activity, we end the month with 28,539 active wallets in November based on my metric for being active, which means you're actively participating in the primary and secondary markets. When you look at October, there were 35,721 active wallets. So that's a 20% decrease month over month of active wallets. That's a pretty big drop. Now, October did have a whole series of the zombie comics at the end of the month, and they did not have that kind of series dropped in November. Now, that could have helped the November metrics because the whales feast on those cheap comics on the secondary market. Now, December will be interesting. Now, I'm sure we'll get Christmas theme drops at the end of the month, and I'm really curious how we're going to end the quarter, Q4 2022. The drop in unique participants on Veve is also reflected on how much those individuals are participating. When we look at total transactions for the month, it's red across the board, with one tier being the exception. Last week I pointed this out as just one whale who went nuts, but everybody else has decreased activity in November. In a silo, this looks really bad, but if we zoom out, there is a silver lining. We need to see how other NFT platforms are performing. When we look at the global NFT marketplace index, which includes all major NFT brands excluding Veve, so we're looking at Bored Apes, CryptoPunks, SoRare, Top Shot, Zedrun, and so forth. Total transactions have decreased to 3.98 million transactions in November, down from 4.8 million in the prior month of October. That represents a decrease of about 820,000 transactions, or 17.6%, which is kind of in line with the decrease we saw on Veve. One of my favorite non-Veve platforms, that's the Flow blockchain with Top Shot and NFL All Day, they are down even more month over month compared to Veve, with All Day down an enormous 43% in the last 30 days. That's surprising given that the NFL season is still going on, and it really only lasts 17 weeks plus the playoffs. Same with Palm. Their highest volume IP, Candy Digital, is down even more than NFL All Day, with transactions down 46% in the last 30 days. Now, this does not include the Palm DC comic drops, and I don't think it should, as there are clear bot issues with them right now. It seems very obvious to me you should not allow people to join the drop queue without logging in with a KYC'd account, unless they're trying to fluff up their market metrics, which I'm sure is a thing in the broader NFT space. You want to tell your licensors that, hey, you picked the right marketplace to sell your products, because they don't want their licensed collectibles to be sold at a garage sale. They want a place with a lot of foot traffic, like a Walmart.
We're the Walmart of digital collectibles.
On a similar note, another example was brought to my attention by an up-and-coming Veve YouTuber named White Slash. He DM'd me some info on the Lamborghini drop. Now, I'll leave his info up on the screen here and link it down below. Let's support the Veve fam who's still out here grinding in the bear market. Now, he mentioned that only 85 wallets hold 1,572 Lambo tokens, with the top wallets holding 30% of all tokens. It's incredibly centralized. When you compare other vehicles on Veve and you look at unique holders to tokens, Kit, the 007 motorcycle, and the recent hoverboard DeLorean all had ratios very close to 1-to-1. Clearly, the volume and foot traffic on Veve is significantly higher, which again is an attraction to licensors and perhaps a reason why Lamborghini decided to partner with Veve, as was announced during DCon. So has volume dropped significantly on Veve in November? Yes, it has. But trading volume has also dropped across most other NFT platforms, with some very popular ones experiencing even bigger declines. So if you're leaving Veve because you're afraid of its decreased activity, then I say zoom out. Dapper Labs and Veve are two of my favorite platforms and two who I think are going to lead the next bull run in the NFT space. Both continue to sell out their drops, and that cash helps fuel their ongoing operations and growth. But one had to lay off 22% of their staff, while the other continues to sack licenses. So again, if you're worried about Veve, zoom out. Also, the larger macroeconomic issues are still having a negative effect. But despite that dumpster fire that is the equities and crypto markets, Veve is showing sneaky resilience if you do your research. So I do think there are more issues on the macroeconomic side that people are misunderstanding. So stay tuned for an in-depth video later on this week. For Meta Monday, that's all I got. Hopefully you have some clarity on what's really happening. Thanks for watching.